Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking action figure review. Today we have another DC for you. Sorry, I just had him in a running pose. It is one of my favorite speedsters, Godspeed. Yes, this is the comic book Godspeed, not the one that appeared in the Flash TV show. And this is a really nice figure. I've said it many times before that the more recent the character seems to be for these McFarlane figures, the almost less good it seems to be. Because it seems like they rush him, but they didn't rush this Godspeed. Godspeed first appeared in, what, 2016? And the Rebirth Flash run. He was the first villain of the first story arc. Very cool, and it was a fantastic story, and Godspeed has just been so cool since then. I really love August, just a great character all around. So when they released a Godspeed, I had to get it ASAP. I am just now getting around to reviewing it, though. But he does have some accessories, like these little bits of yellow lightning that you can hook on to his arms. Godspeed's lightning in the first story arc is white because he's so fast he always is manipulating time when he's running, which is why he can be in two places at once, the first and only speedster to be able to do so. But then after the Flash and Kid Flash siphon off his speed, he goes down to yellow. Because of blue shift, which is what the Flash's lightning colors are based off of, to show how fast the speedster is. That's how you know speedsters with white are the fastest, and then blue, and then yellow, and then red. And then the negative speed force is seemingly the opposite, since Thawne's lightning is red. Red shift. Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, you get both those, and then you get a stand. McFarlane always throws in a stand, which I think is just a nice, good thing for adult collectible lines to do with their action figures, especially a speedster, because running poses, it can be hard to pose them in running poses, but with a stand, that becomes so much easier. And then he comes with his card. As I've said before, I'm not a big fan of the cards anymore. They used to be a cool little inclusion. You guys know I'm a big trading card collector. I do lots of trading card videos on our second channel. Link in the link tree down below. And these were cool when they had comic art, but now they've transitioned to just having product shots of the figure, which is so boring, especially since I have the figure in hand when I get the card. But this one's even extra boring because it's just Godspeed in the most vanilla pose possible, with a black background. And I'm not even sure if that white is damage or if that's in the photo. I don't know, it doesn't feel like damage, but it doesn't even, the glisten follows over it, so it seems like it's in the photo, but it doesn't really, I don't know. But that's the accessories of Godspeed. Now, he is a really cool figure. Let's check out Articulation. His head comes up, which is good for running poses. You got that side to side, a bit of a wobble. You know, you got this wobbly joint in here, which is pretty good. Up and down on the arm, real good movement on these arms. You get the bicep swivel, double elbow bend, you got rotation and forward and back on the wrist. Both my wrists, as you can see, the paint had them stuck. So it took a lot of effort, careful effort, to unstick them so I could turn the wrist, which was a huge problem I had with my Jonathan Kent Superboy. Paint also made a lot of his joints stuck that I couldn't move them in the review, but I can move them now. I unstuck my John Kent, but it did cause paint damage just like it did on Godspeed, but Godspeed's is much less noticeable than the Jonathan Kent. So keep that in mind. You got torso and waist movement. I like the plastic coverings so that you can stick his legs back on his butt instead of, because the Power Ranger review is what we did last time. Our last review was the A-Squad SPD Red Ranger, and she couldn't kick her leg back because of her bodacious booty, but with the rubbery plastic covers that McFarlane has, you can do that and still maintain a nice sculpted runner's bottom. So yeah, forward and back, in and out, slight turn but not much. You got the double knee bend right there, rotation on the foot, up and down on the foot. You know, you got the swivel or pivot, and then there's a peg hole with his little toe beans. Now you might be noticing that his feet are fucking huge. But I think that is, like, they look big, right? They look like Shaq feet. But I think that's just to help him maintain running poses better. I think that's just to help him balance in a running pose. So I think that's an intentional thing. But I might be giving McFarlane too much credit there. But I hope not, because, I mean, hey, I'd like to think that they made a good figure on purpose. So now I think we should get into, you guessed it, detail and paint. Now he's mostly just white and gold. Actually, he is entirely just white and gold. Pretty easy to pull off paint-wise, unless you get, paint stuck in the joints, and I have to risk breaking him just to get the movement I want. But, he's sculpted perfectly. The, eyes are done really well. They're sculpted very well. He looks right out of the comic. He really does. I think he looks great. I kind of like the hands they gave him because they work as running hands, but also looks a little sinister when he's still. I dig it. I really like the hands they gave him. Would have been cool to have interchangeable hands, but I think if you're not going to give him interchangeable hands, the ones they gave him work out great. They really do. I really love this figure. I think he's great because they didn't rush him. Oh, and these are rubbery to lessen the risk of breakage. So now we're going to get into size comparisons. Here he is with the Justice League Endless Winter Wonder Woman and the Justice League Endless Winter Green Lantern John Stewart. And I know you guys are thinking, what? Come on, man, show us the speedsters. And alright, I must do so. Here he is with Red Death. Yeah, from Dark Knight's Metal. As well as the Injustice 2 Flash. Gotta show him with a Flash. Very cool. Really love it. And I've also reviewed all those figures I just showed in size comparison, so if you want to see reviews of them, I reviewed that Flash. I reviewed both those speedsters a while ago, but the Justice League Endless Winter stuff was pretty recent. So that's it for this review. Final thoughts? I mean, he's got good articulation, great detail and paint. He's a really nice figure. I mean, it's even sculpted inside his joints, which is not coming across well because of the lighting on a white figure. But it is the case. He's really nice. That paint stuck here and was really my only issue because the card is an issue, but at the end of the day, it's the card. It's not the most important thing, He scales well with his own line, which is what really matters. Actually, now that I mention another line, I probably should show him with the DC Collectibles Deceased Unkillables Red Hood, who has not been reviewed, but is on the way, and McFarlane releases these now. They brought DC Direct back for seemingly no reason. I don't know why they didn't just release them under... Whatever. But that's it. I do recommend him. If you're in the Speedsters, definitely pick this guy up. He's a great purchase. One of my favorite McFarlane figures. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.